At 39, Franklin Roosevelt fell into an abyss. After swimming, he felt a sharp pain in his back. Within days, his legs went completely numb. 14 years later, he became president. But in public, he was a man who always stood. Each speech, his son held him up. Steel braces hid under pants. The whole crowd played along. They all pretended his legs still worked. Roosevelt spent the rest of his life in a wheelchair. The thing that took him down was polio virus, a virus that had haunted for thousands of years. In the early 1900s, polio was summer plague. 1916, it hit the US, 27,000 paralyzed, 6,000 dead. Panic spread fast. Streets got sprayed with chemicals. People killed about 72,000 cats, thinking they were the cause. Kids were locked inside. Parents were afraid to touch newspapers, like the ink carried death. But all the isolation measures failed. Polio kept coming back. Every few years, it took away kids' ability to move. The cruelest part was its silence. Out of 100 infected, 95 had no symptoms. They never knew the virus passed through them. But the less than 1%? The virus crossed into their brain, got into their spinal cord, destroyed the motor neurons. If the brainstem was hit, the respiratory muscles stopped. Patients were awake as their lungs gradually shut down. Humans then built the iron lung, a big metal cylinder that pumps air in and out. The first ICU. But this was just defense. To win, we first had to know the enemy. 1909, Landsteiner proved polio was a virus. But then the top doctor Flexner made a big mistake. He claimed the virus only entered through the nose, then traveled to the brain. A whole generation of scientists went down the wrong path. To prevent it, they sprayed harsh chemicals up kids' noses. Thousands lost their sense of smell. Some got burned. Until 1938, Sabin found the truth. The virus spread through poop and food. It replicated in gut, got into blood, hijacked CD155 protein on motor neurons, traveled back up to the spinal cord. There, it cut the link between nerve and muscle, turning kids into lifelong disabled patients. Humans finally figured out how the virus worked. A vaccine was urgently needed. But soon, human hit another wall. How to scientifically grow enough virus to make vaccine? Everyone believed polio only grew in nerve tissue. So they had to use live monkey brains and spines. But nerve tissue mixed into vaccines caused severe reactions. Early attempts failed. Until 1949, John Enders at Harvard broke the old theory. He grew the virus in tissue from human embryos, arms, legs, intestines. The wall that stood for 40 years finally fell. Enders and his colleagues were awarded the 1954 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. More importantly, the path to mass vaccine production was now open. 1954, Jonas Salk made the first move, inactivated poliovirus vaccine. He used formaldehyde to kill the virus. Only the empty shell was left for the immune system to identify. 1.8 million kids joined the largest vaccine trial in history. When the results came back effective, church bells rang across America. Salk gave up billions in patent money as a gift to humanity. But the next year, disaster hit. A company called Cutter made a bad batch. Live virus went into the needles. 40,000 got infected, 164 paralyzed, 10 died. Just weeks after the vaccine's success headlines. That became the foundation for modern vaccine safety rules. To fight a virus, we need more than genius. We need airtight systems. But Albert Sabin thought Salk's shield wasn't sharp enough. Sabin made oral poliovirus vaccine, OPV. He passed the virus through cells over and over until it was tame. It still replicated, still triggered immunity. When kids swallowed it, the virus produced antibodies and formed mucosal immunity in intestines. The weakened virus spread through communities, blocking polio at its source. Two paths, two philosophies. One prioritized safety, one aimed for complete elimination. For decades, both worked together, pushing the virus to the edge of civilization. But just when humans had the weapons to fight against virus, polio struck again. 1955, China had an outbreak. Hundreds of kids paralyzed. Parents lined up outside hospitals. Virologist Gu Fangzhou was called in. Back then, China had no cold chain, no good injection. If they copied the vaccine from the West, rural kids would never get protected. So Gu made a bold call. He would make the oral live vaccine. In the abandoned buildings of Kunming, during years of famine, Gu and his team lived next to monkeys. They made China's first batch of vaccine. Then came the real test, safety. Gu took a tube of the vaccine, drank it. His colleagues followed. A month later, the adults were fine. But adult safety didn't mean kids were safe. Gu went home, hid it from his wife, fed the vaccine to his 1-year-old son. His colleagues did the same. They tested it on their own children. That was scientists' conscience. What they got back was immunity for a nation. The liquid vaccine was bitter and hard to transport. Gu had an idea: make it into candy. His team wrapped the vaccine in sugar, little white sweet pills. They flew into every village in China. July 21st, 2000. Gu, at 74, signed the WHO document. China was officially polio-free. Today, humans are one step away from wiping out polio for good. Wild virus exists in the mountains between Afghanistan and Pakistan. That last mile is bloodier than we thought. In war zones, rumors say vaccines are a Western plot. Vaccinators get shot on mountain roads. But more keep coming, especially brave local women. They carry their coolers, knock on doors. The hunt for polio has lasted over 100 years. We keep going because we know, as long as there is still one kid carry the virus, every kid is at risk. What is science's greatest victory? Not making the strong get stronger, but letting the weak walk, even when nature says they shouldn't.